Hi, my name's William Woerner, and I'm a freshman at Clemson University. Um, my dialogue was about religion and morality, and I believe that it's not always necessarily religion goes hand in hand with morality, and I think that's something that our dialogues discussed pretty well. I think that, especially with where we live, in the southern Bible Belt, as we say, that we often associate morality with our religious principles, and I don't believe that's always the case. I believe that you can be a moral person without being necessarily a religious person, and I think it's a pretty cool thing. I think that that's something that a lot of the people in our groups opened up to about, and I think that's something that helped us achieve real dialogues, that a lot of people opened up in situations that in which they wouldn't necessarily would open up. And for instance, some people opened up to say that they were atheist, and to say that they weren't necessarily religious people, but and to explain that that was a big thing for them, that they hadn't opened up to that fact to anybody else, really, especially their family, because their family were the ones that would shun them, ones to take them out of school, to stop funding their schooling, and I thought it was a pretty big deal for them to open up to just our group, and to say that they weren't necessarily religious people, but that that's been a big part of their lives. And I thought that was really interesting, and I thought that was really touching that they would confide in our group that they weren't necessarily religious people, and they couldn't even share that fact with their own family out of fear. And that's why I think that our group achieved true dialogue, is that people really opened up in that situation, and I did as well. And I explained that I wasn't necessarily a really religious person, that I'd been raised as a religious person, but the more and more I grew up, that I realized that I had a lot of questions about my religion, and that I was fairly unsure of my religion, and I had a lot of questions, and I was fairly unsure of it, and then I decided that I was just basically unsure of my religion. It wasn't leaning one way or the other. I just didn't know, and it felt good to open up to the other people in my group, and it felt good to talk about things, similarities that the people in my group showed, the similarities that we shared, and I thought that was really interesting, just to be able to talk to people that were in similar situations that I was. But yeah, I think that my group was really informative, really helpful, and I really enjoyed talking to each and every one of them. Yeah, thank you very much.